Year, what's good? What's good? What's good? Everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Swoop Boys. Starting from the bottom, and we'll work our way up top. Introduce your name. Introduce yourself. Drop that plug.
Namaskar, Rakshak from NFL Masala here. Thank you, as always, for inviting me to talk about not only Eagles football, with a little bit of spice.
And I guess we'll just go straight to me. What up? It's your boy Cozy. You already know. Mr. Hot Take himself, apparently. I've been dubbed. Whatever. I'll wear that crown.
Yeah.
And then the chorus holding it down in H-Town, hit you with the X's and O's as coach. And I got birthday girl, or belated birthday girl, until mommy come back from work. So she just turned the big one in a E.
Oh. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Birthday.
Hello. She's
But
smiling. She's smiling.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
I mean, we're doing good, but I'm in deep mourning right now. This is why I'm wearing black.
Oh.
I'm wearing black because I want to pay tribute to some Eagles legends that we know. I want to give Devontae Parker, Miles Jack, and Frank Gore, just to name a few, their flowers, and to thank them for their endless contribution to the Eagles roster. They will definitely earn a place in my heart. They'll earn a place in your heart. And it's sad. Help me out, man. I know it's so short, but they
Here's
were
the flowers.
I need it, man. I need it. Let's just give Nah, I don't think they need any second of they don't need any 10 ring salute or something like that. Let's just move on straight to it. They'll be legends in our hearts. Eagles Hall of Famers right there. Godspeed, Devontae Parker. Godspeed.
That's what you're applying for so long.
I know.
Well, since we brought up the topic, one person's upset, but the picture says otherwise. Once again, it happened again 2 years in a row now. We sign a player, he makes it to the team, and doesn't even complete. He didn't even make it past minicamp. So, yeah,
Nope.
Devontae Parker, I guess saw the writing on the wall. Probably saw how tall a lot of these youngins were, and was like, you know what? I'm out. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
She's showing her condolences for Devontae Parker. What a glorious.
She's upset.
I know. After I gave a eulogy, she's crying, and I get it. I
should blame you for this attitude I'm dealing with right now.
I mean, it's sad. It's a sad day. It's literally a sad day, man. Why am I dressed in black? Why am I trying to give like some kind of eulogy, which I'm like half-assing it?
Oh, I thought you were, getting in spirit of the Eagles wearing all black against the Packers.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Hey, whoa. We can talk about that after. We got some other stuff to cover right now.
But while we're on the topic, Cozy, how you feeling about this whole Devontae Parker?
Brother, I didn't even think he was making the team. I didn't. The second we signed him, I hit the group chat. I was like, why did we do this? Like, this is dumb. We gave the man $1 million and he's just not even gonna make the team. And like you said, he saw some of these young dudes and he was like, well, shit. I'm just gonna head on out. I just don't get it. I mean, I get him retiring. Why we offered to give him anything in the first place, but I'm not surprised.
Stop, mama, you doing it? Bruh, Cozy, this is birth control, bruh. This is birth control for you. All right.
What?
But
Yeah.
to get into it, the Eagles had an eventful weekend. Of course, starting it off with their annual Eagles Autism Challenge, where once again the Eagles did in donations had up to $8.2 million, which is the highest they ever had since doing the Eagles Autism. So, shout out to that, but that wasn't, the hottest take that came out of that whole process. Fellas, what we thinking?
Bro, first of all, let me just say, the man is looking slim. The man's looking fit. The man's looking right. Pause. Wow, he definitely looks like he lost a lot of stomach weight. And I mean, obviously, I know it's just the shirt being tight, but his arm does look like he looks more fit. And that's great. I got no complaints with that.
Now, let me ask y'all this. We all have significant others if we dated, and we've been tasked with the most important task of all, the pictures. So is this legit or is this just somebody got the right angle?
Ooh.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, it looked like he had a gut before, and although he is hunching over, those shirts are like an athletic shirt, like it's tight. You know what I mean? So like his stomach would be sticking out, but there's wrinkles right there. You know what I mean? You can see it's tight around the arm because he has big arms, but he himself looks slimmer in the stomach, and we saw from the clip of them working out, he looked thinner. We noticed that in the clip. We're like, wait, hold on. Why does he look thinner? And then he's looking thinner here. And then in the clip at OTAs today, he looks faster. I mean, it could be the angles, but like those are three things that are pretty like, all right. I feel like we would have seen a discrepancy if there was one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, any thoughts to add into it?
Yeah, definitely, definitely impressed by that. I mean, yeah, I mean, but then again, it's just the beginning. It's like the OTAs. Because I mean, he's adding. It is appearing that he's adding more muscle and shredding a lot of pounds. So congrats on that, Jordan Davis. I'm happy for you. But I want to see. I mean, it's good to be in fit at the beginning. I want to see him fit at the end. At the end of the season. And yes, and I want to highlight this comment, what Mark Bird said. Fangio calling out players for not being in game shape. Hell yes. If you want this Fangio scheme to be perfect, you gotta have players that are in the best fit. And of course, run sideline to sideline because of the run game, and also attack the QB. Even if you're not like blitzing, but we're disguising pressure. We need to have these types of players who are ready to ball out once this ball is snapped. That is the thing that I'm looking up for.
And once again, shout out to Mark Berg, our Eagles fan all the way on the West Coast out there in Oregon. Probably the only Eagles fan right now who's not upset at Chip Kelly.
Huh?
He's a big Oregon's Duck fan. So.
Okay. Well, let it slide,
And-
Mark, because you're a good guy.
So the next thing we're going to go into, of course, is Cozy's favorite topic. I think he was a little hot this weekend. The Eagles had their first annual women's football festival.
All right. Don't make me out to be some villain now over a joke. Come on. First of all, to clarify for the people, the joke I made was, I was like, the Eagles, they have a women's weekend. What about a guys' weekend where like you just get to hang out with the Eagles and like you get to drink beers with the guys or like play video games or even just toss a ball and like talk shop with them? Wouldn't we all like to do that as men? Just be like, let me feel like I'm one of the boys real quick.
Sounds like a
Is
Sunday
that so
night at the
crazy?
Link.
That sounds like a good time.
Minus the coaches. That's an Eagles Sunday night game.
Coach was like, I'd rather be in the film room with Fangio breaking down schemes. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool too. But I'd rather. Well, Kelsey's not there, but I'm saying, imagine going there with the guys thing and be like, Kelsey, let's chug a beer. And him being like, oh hell yeah, you would do it.
Nah, no. I know us military folks, we can drink, but I've heard his drinking stories, and nah, I'm that's a whole different monster.
Ooh. Interesting. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. I think it's great though, obviously, because as we've seen from obviously Jalen Hurts, he's very pro woman. He's very pro women in sports. He's very pro women in business. His agent women, like everyone he surrounds himself with is women besides the team. But he has made women the face of I would say his business, of like his image. They control everything, but he has them helping every step of the way. And I think that's great in self, because a lot of people have always said that women aren't as represented in the business side of the sports world. And our leader is one of the people pushing that along to help with it.
I just know the DMs in the Twitter line were definitely a little risque. I'm just curious on how many times Jalen got hit on.
Oh God!
And they had an open bar too, so now you got a bunch of alcohol.
It was open bar.
Oh boy!
It was an open bar, so you got the liquid courage, and you're signing. You paid to have Jalen sign something, and you may just whisper something slick in his ear. Like, kudos to the Eagles for putting your players in that type of situation.
I mean, I actually need to get that on my shopping list, man. I mean, I did not bring tissue papers for the eulogy, bro.
You gotta use the shirt. Just my bad. I thought I smelled something.
Or the classic response, who's chopping onions?
Yeah, right. Rock just made dinner, so he's like, it's the onions. That's what it is. It's really I was making tacos. I had to cut onions.
Yeah.
It's not, I swear. I had jalapenos. I got a seed in my eye.
Oh boy, have you accidentally done that before? Like cut onions or jalapenos and then rub your eye afterwards?
Bro, I had a jalapeno seed flick in my eye a couple weeks ago.
Yo,
how many do you think?
How many of those became tattoos? Went straight to the link to the closest tattoo parlor.
Can you sign my arm and Hurts tattoo? That's wild. At least 2. Over under 1.5. I'll take the over.
And then today got a little spicy as well, right? We had OTAs going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those who've been sitting underneath the rock or got a 1-year-old keeping them, busy and occupied.
I agree. Em.
She stole
She
the
said
show.
over 2.
This is how Saquon felt when he was in the car with his daughter, and she just took over the whole 24 hours. But hey, I'm gonna hit y'all guys with a little porn real quick, since we get a little spicy.
Oh, you ain't done yet.
Shout out to all the media personnel out there watching OTAs. Shout out to ESP, Howard Eskins, because of course, you know, those guys had provided the stuff. Project Hertz, and then OG Baby Hertz, posting on the Twitter, just sharing to the fans, bro. How we feeling after, you know, looking at that reel? I know I'm gonna have to clear out my browser after today, because boy, that was a little. I'm excited for September.
I was gonna say, can we acknowledge real quick that Jalen Hurts, his knee looks fine. That run looked. I didn't see a problem with the run.
So beautiful.
I didn't see a limp. I didn't see anything. Like everyone was talking about, like, oh, can he recover from the injury? He sure looks like he's recovered to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he look a little pep in the step. I think having new leadership in the building is kind of like when you get that new teacher. You gotta, you know, put yourself in a new hierarchy a little bit. You got that chance to realign yourself and make you look more favorable a little bit.
Breaking. Not really breaking news, but so you know how we all know how CJ Gardner-Johnson is like a little rapper on the side or whatever, and posted like that clip of the song.
He did a remix with 50?
No. AB quoted it and said trash. and then Chauncey replied back and said, "Brah, don't play with me straight up. Don't let them people boost your head, my boy. We got beef. We got beef."
Oh, move over Kendrick and Drake. Kendrick Lamar and Drake move out of the way. Now we got Antonio Brown and CJ Gardner-Johnson going at it, man. That's
ESPN.
But Antonio Brown is cemented in the NFL right now because you getting that. That's his little thing from his rap video. So that's AJ Brown is becoming everybody's NFL celebration. I'm gonna let CJ do all the talking because that's who he is, and you know I'm not gonna tell him be quiet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
At the end of the day, as long as you show up Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday with the shiesty mask, at least with a pick, I'm perfectly fine. Because you're not controversial.
Yeah. I mean, like, one thing I'll definitely say, like, regarding, like, with OTAs, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far, especially with Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he does look a lot more faster. Well, all I can say is, what injury? Do you see an injury?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see it. And you know who I also saw? I think I may have also saw Trevor Keegan, who, by the way, he's allowed 0 sacks in Michigan. Just a bit of a keynote right there.
In case people keep forgetting.
Yeah, in case. I mean, we gotta preach about this. And then, and of course, when you talk about media personality, ESP, where are you at? Where are you at? Talk.
He was at NovaCare, so he was at NovaCare today. So you know, At least we know he's in Philly.
Yeah.
Probably under Whitsec right now because it's a couple things he's gonna need to answer at, especially after that podcast that the 1025 segment.
25-10, yeah. And
But
yeah.
Yeah.
Cozy man, did the all that reels we got today, did that kind of get you a little bit more amped up, or you just like you don't want to repeat last year?
I'm not so much amped at like the on-field clips. The things that really stuck out to me, which we talked about earlier, was the interviews with the players and how some of them I just feel like there's a lot of leadership in the team this year. I'm seeing it the clip of Slay when they're talking about all the young CBs in the room, and Slay's like, yeah, like I'm here to coach them, I'm here to train them up, like that's what I'm here to do, that's my job. Talking about like I came here so I can do this. We'll speak about the Bradbury situation later, but Bradbury didn't show up to OTAs. Slay showed up so he could help coach the young guys. And he said like he watched film on Quignon and Coop, and like he said that like, they had the skill set and they had like the fast twitch and all that. Like all the compliments he gave seemed genuine. And that's what you want out of a player, especially a vet on your team. Even though he wasn't homegrown with our team, someone that came to the Eagles and was like, listen, this is now my organization. I'm a part of it. I want to be the best player I can be so I can also have a legacy here. And that's great. And then we saw that again with even Jalen Carter speaking on it, speaking about how, like, mind you, again, he's going into his second year. So, like, for him to even have that leadership mentality is just perfect because, as we all know, it's him, Davis, Milton, and like all young guys in there. I think Davis is the oldest defensive interior, correct, on the team? Unless there's someone who's just been like sitting on the practice squad or whatever. But
no, Milton Williams is older.
Yeah.
Milton Williams is older?
Milton Williams is older. This is a contract year.
Okay, so but even still, Jalen Carter coming in there and saying like, I walked up to the young dudes and was like trying to talk to them and make them feel comfortable. Like that's a leader. That's someone who's not sitting there like, oh, I got to fight for my spot. Like he's like, I want these dudes to feel comfortable and give their all to this team. Like I'm trying to give my all to this team. And like I said, we all talk our trash about Sirianni, but something I've noticed in Sirianni's tenure, I guess you could also say Jalen's tenure as well. So it could be a combination of both. But there is a leadership bug around the room, around the locker room that like it's biting people because they all seem to be stepping up and wanting to be a leader. And even the dudes who retired are still coming back to the facility to be leaders, to instruct and help and guide these younger dudes. And I just love how like that's the atmosphere that we're growing here in Philadelphia. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the on-field play, we're gonna see clips of catches. We've been Jalen Ragered before. We know the training camp clips, but to see the interviews and see the characteristics of people is something I'm genuinely excited about.
Yeah.
Yes. He was, Pete. He was.
I mean, I had a eulogy written, man. It was, I don't know if you missed out on that, but yeah, I mean, what Cozy said, I think you explained it very well. This is a team that prides on leadership, and of course that mindset has to change now with the old guard leading the way for the younger generation to step up. And I mean, like Jason Kelsey is staying back behind to help out some of the younglings like Cam Jurgens, and of course my boy Trevor Keegan from Michigan, who has allowed 0 sacks in his career. And then of course, but then I mean, as you said, like Fletcher Cox staying behind. Jalen Carter, Jalen Carter's a sophomore. Like he's in his second year and he's helping out and he's helping this young squad lead. That I love this term that what they're using called accountability. That shows that is one of the great characteristics of being a leader. showing that accountability and teaching the young people, hey, this is what you need to do in order to, like, hell, stop the run, win your one-on-one battles. This is why we are such a damn good organization, because of stuff like this. I know it's maybe showing like early messaging or something like that, but yes, this is what I love to see. The younger guys, even who had like 1 or 2 years finished up, they're leading the way. They're showing the charge. They're the new blood of Philadelphia Eagles players. That's for sure.
I want to piggyback on something you said that I agreed with, or that this reminded me of another thing. Jalen Carter, in his interview, he said, they were like, "Oh, like, what have you been doing all off season?" And he was like, "I've been working on my stamina." And like, usually people are like, "Oh, like, you're not working on your technique." He's like, "Nah, technique I can work on throughout the season." He's like, "I want to work on my conditioning and my stamina, so I don't," because he doesn't want to wear down throughout the season like he did last year. And then he also said that one of the things he wants to work on that he had a problem with was his run stopping. And it's like, bro, just the not the clarity, but like the understanding from a player, like, oh yeah, I have to work on my run stopping. I have to work on my conditioning. I think those things are important. And like you had brought up before, that's something Fangio preaches. He wants his guys to be physically ready for anything. And like I have said before, the part of the problem with our team last year was all these dudes, their conditioning sucked. So at the end of the year, they just broke down. And now we have these dudes that are like, all right, we have Fangio, like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Practice conditioning, practice our physicality, make sure that our body and our minds are right. And like I said, I'm just excited for the future of this team. I'm excited to see where we go, because where we are right now and the way these young guys are talking is just, it's a lot of these teams. You can't find clips of dudes on these teams talking like this. Second year players talking like veterans. It's just crazy. I love it. Leadership. They're just leaders. We have a team full of leaders, but they're at the same time, they're also willing to learn.
So it was a couple of interesting things today. During Slay's press conference, he talked about, or he got a question asking about the knee. And, he said between 7-on-7s, there's a couple of young bucks that challenged him in a race. Of course, him being 33, he's beat them. But they asked, I can't remember who the person asked, but, how bad was your injury last year? Was you hurt, or was you, hurt? Slay admitted, he was hurt, but he played, what's best for the team, because he said 60% of Slay is better than nothing they had, which kind of made me question, is he not that confident in the DB room with like Ringo, Josh Jobe, of course, McPherson being hurt, like those younger cats, which understands why Howie added 30 corners for this offseason? Or is it just, the timing? Like Ringo's not ready yet, as far as they're especially getting that high praise last season from AJ Brown, saying he's a little scrappy. But then you had the thing with Jalen Carter, where he talked about talking to the kids, or not the kids. That's me being old. Talking to his teammates, the young guys in there, and basically, telling his story about they knew what he went through, referring to the accident that ended up, having one of his teammates passing away. And how Fletcher and all them guys kind of gave him that confidence to stay positive and, have that influence. So the fact that he's already in year 2 taking what he's learned from those guys, and he's trying to step into that mentor realm, that's great maturity. And then you heard it. He said, I'm getting paid to play football. He said, it's not like college where you play a game, you go to class, and you got workouts. He said, nah, this is what I'm getting paid for. So I'm glad I can do this 24/7. And then I forgot Vic Fangio's lineage as far as like the players. So of course, everybody, the biggest one, Patrick Willis, being, probably the famous linebacker. But you got Alib Talib, corner out of Fangio. And if I'm correct, he had DeMarcus Ware. Am I correct on that one as the defensive end? And
I would think so. Von Miller.
So the Von Miller. Like you look at the talent that Fangio had, and you can see what Fangio does when he does have the talent in place. So hell, he made Robert Quinn an 18 sack DN and finesse Fillion picking up this man. So
Robert
Oh,
Quinn.
shit.
Wait, I'm trying to find out where Robert Quinn is. Is he over there? Where
he's
is
with
he?
Devontae Parker at Geno's right now.
Check your trash. Check the trash can, brother. That's where he is.
Bro, you're making me cry, man. I gotta get that funeral outfit back at it.
But is we got these guys here, and then like Pete said, you got guys like Joseph Nagata, Austin Watkins. He's in that Albert O realm as far as having a stellar preseason. The Eagles signed him to a future contract. Now we get to see what that looks like. Joseph Nagata, he did well last year. Who was the other one? Tyree Cleveland. But
Tyree
with
Cleveland,
Nagata and
he had a-
Cleveland, it was the injuries that kind of stared these dudes away. I won't stare them away, but prevent us from actually seeing, what was potentially there to where you look at the guys in the room now. You got Anaya Smith. You got I'm gonna throw Will Shipley in that category as well, just because of that flexibility. You got Will Shipley, Nagata, Watkins, Johnny Wilson. Like, bro, just look at the potential of this.
I mean,
this core right now.
Ooh, I'd love to see that, man. I mean, it's the phrase "iron sharpens iron," and this may be like raw iron at its best, but it's like, but going up against like a Pro Bowler like in Darius Slay, and of course, facing off the other other CBs that are fighting for the 53, man. This is definitely fun to see.
It's definitely going to be fun to see, but like you said, iron sharpens iron. A lot of people are talking about, with the departure of Devontae Parker, and right now the only veterans on the roster is Paris Campbell, outside of AJ Brown and Devontae. So, do the Eagles need to bring in a veteran wide receiver like a Hunter Renfrow, or do they reach out to Houston? Because they're in the same thing as we are. They have a plethora of wide receivers. So can we take, John Mechie III or Kellen Moore request for John Mechie? Or does Kellen Moore ask for Noah Brown to come to Philly and potentially compete for that wide receiver 3? Or do you go ahead and you call Tennessee again and be like, hey, how much for Traylon Burks?
I was literally about to say that.
The guys on the roster, do you feel confident enough to let these young bucks battle it out? Like you said, iron sharpens iron. So all these guys are going to literally bring their best because it's money on the table. Being on the 53, that check is a little bit more different than being on the practice squad. So do I want to have that financial security? But then as well, look at the guys on the opposite end. You have the Mekhi Gardners, the Eli Ricks, the the Cooper DeJean, the McPhersons, the Jobs, the Quinyon Mitchell. Like, bro, the battles of this mini season, especially in these 7-on-7s, is gonna be. If you look at it right now, Slay versus AJ, Devontae versus Bradbury. I'm giving Bradbury slack because literally he had one bad year. You get Fangio back into the system, back into the house. Bradbury's going to be straight. He hasn't been terrible his whole career. This dude's been from the Panthers to the Giants, now to Philly.
He had 2 bad years,
out of a 9-year career. So it's not that bad in my opinion. And then when the twos come onto the field, you're going to have Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson and probably Watkins as your 1, 2, 3s on the second team. and now you're going to have your Quinion Mitchells, your Cooper DeJean, your Tyler Hall. Now those guys is competing, and two of those are first round caliber players. And Tyler Hall actually was, what was it, a top 5 nickel corner last year? And I think he was top 5 in tackles as well from the nickel corner as well. And if we look at stats, Anaya Smith only has a 1.8 drop rate percentage. So these guys are going to compete. Compete.
I got to correct you on, I mean, I get the competing part, but I have to correct you on the term battles. It's not going to be a battle. It's going to be an all-out war. I want to see the war. Who the hell is going to step up? I want to see that. I want to see that. That's for sure. Even you want to see it. Cozy wants to see it. The Eagles Nation wants to see a freaking war between these young cats, man. I want to see who steps up. And the other ones who can walk out the door out of NovaCare, grab themselves a case of crunchy beer, courtesy of 4th and John, and get the hell out. Who wants to stay and who wants to go? By all means, I want to see a war.
Know what? For giggles, I'm gonna try this crunchy beer just to say I did it, but that's gonna be the last extent of this whole deal.
I was gonna say real quick, I want to piggyback off what Coach said with the whole like iron sharpens iron thing, because I think we all know how he likes his moves, how he likes making moves. I think we are riding, I don't want to say into the season, but like we're riding the next couple months with who we got. And if they're looking in camp and no one's stepping up as a wide receiver 3, I think then Howie pulls that trigger and says, let me see. I mean, because then we do technically have Goddard as wide receiver 3. He's a tight end, but technically Goddard would be the wide receiver 3 in terms of targets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have Brown, Smitty, Goddard. And then Uzuma is not a bad tight end. That's a good tight end too.
He's a second receiving tight end option. That's because that's how he was able to do well in Cincinnati. He had bad luck with the Jets because Aaron Rodgers got injured and they were dealing with and they were working with with MILF Hunter Zach Wilson. So
I think and then not to mention we went out and got Saquon, who's a pass catching back. And then we have Gainwell, who's a pass catching back. Yeah. And then we got Shipley, who's a pass catching back. So it's like we're not short of any receivers, no matter the position. Like we have dudes. Lane Johnson can catch a touchdown. So like we're not short at receivers. You know what I mean? Oh, Barkley, 100%.
Barkley will take targets. You know what? And I think like and hyping and following along with Cozy and on this one, I think you said like everyone has that, almost like the weapons that you listed. They have that receiving ability, and this perfect and we kind of know like where this all ties into. This is what Kellen Moore loves to work with and on offense. Lots of we're gonna be seeing like motions. I think we can properly execute, for the love of God, a two tight end set.
Hold on, wait.
All personnel toward 13.
You think that's gonna be great? I want to be a fly on the wall in Coach's house when we see a play come up and we see Barkley and Gainwell in the backfield, or Barkley and Shipley. I want to see Coach's reaction when he's just sitting there. He's like, "Oh, 2-back set. We got 2 backs on the field. What's about to happen right now?" And watch the gears in his head run like what are we gonna see? What are we gonna see?
Yeah.
Over under receptions for Barkley 40. Well, first of all, we gotta say 44.5. Honestly, I would go less. I would go less. I'm thinking more in the 30s. If you were to say like 33.5, I'd be like, ooh.
I'm going over.
You're going over 44.5?
For the safe bet, I'm going to keep it under because
wait, Coach.
Oh,
You want to bet a Four Loco on it?
Oh my God, I'm not betting.
No, Coach.
Oh,
Coach,
for
do you want to bet a Four Loco on that? Barkley receptions over 44.5, and I bet the under. Coach, can you hear me?
I think he's still thinking. He's kind of stunned on
Coach,
that.
I think he's playing now. He's just playing it off like he doesn't hear me. He can hear everything perfectly fine until I mentioned Four Loco. I mentioned the Four Loco, and now Coach.
I mean,
Coach, quiet.
I mean, all I could say.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're looking at like over unders at that part, like I'm going to say close to 30 because here's the take. Because here's the thing. We don't know how fully healthy Barkley is because I mean his career with the Giants had he was overused and all that, and I would just say like keep tabs on his touches at the moment, and then when we need it, just I mean if you want to target over like 50 times on it, 50 times a game or something like that, so be it. But I'd say keep it. I would say take it a little bit easy on it. It's me being cautious because Barkley's a great player, but the injury bug is what really hurted him. So that's my take.
Well, the crazy thing too is the injury bug hurting him was also because he was with the Giants and their O-line sucks and they overused him. Whereas when he comes to the Eagles, he's going to be the premier back, but he's not. We don't run a one back set forever. So he's going to be the main guy, but he's not going to be running every single down.
No, he'd be running some like this.
Oh, Coach, you're back. Coach, welcome back.
Oh, look at this.
So Four Loco bet on Barkley having over 44.5 receptions. I just see Hurts. Why did he cut back? He had that.
Cam Newton.
It's Cam Newton, but still, think about it. The one is going to stay the same, so that's Jalen. 22 is going to be a 26, and 10 is going to be a 39. Bro, the things you can do with the personnel we have, you can run 21 personnel. You can run 12 personnel. You can run a spread. You can literally go heavy if you want to. Like, look at what Kellen Moore was able to do with Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Gallup.
Yeah.
Then he goes to LA. Yeah, he had Keenan Allen. He had Mike Williams. Unfortunately, them dudes, injuries and all that. And then Austin Eckler. So if you can
Austin
see
Eckler
what he's
contract problems too.
Yeah. But as well, like Pollard and Zeke ate as a 1 and 2 running back. So of course, Barkley is going to eat. The question is Sirianni's favorite, running back, Kenny G, going to be that guy, or is Will Shipley going to, once again, stand up and fight against the standard, basically, because he's competing for a position that's not very popular based on his demographic. But I think Shipley can be that Rex Burkhead for us.
Well, who would you consider the best running back in the league right now?
CMC.
Who's a white guy?
Nah,
he's in California.
I'm gonna stay out of it, on that one. But I think, either way, it's gonna. With Will Ship, I'm just excited to see the possible combinations that Kellen Moore can use. I just don't want to see. I'm just tired of seeing. Let's run the 5 basic high school plays that got us to that collapse. I don't want to see that anymore. But I also do want to see the mix of the inside zone. Not only do the inside zone runs are what really help, but what really, I don't know what if this helped out Hurts, but in 2022 when they got back to the RPO when they ran that similar, they used like some concepts of the RPO offense. That's what really worked for Hurts, right? In the 2022 season. I don't know if they
Yeah.
used it, but I think like not only bring those concepts, but make it, but add some masala to it. That's all we ask for. Like, if we're asking for the minimum basics, like make it something new that we have not seen or that we have already seen, but that cannot be stopped. We just ask for
I,
that. And not only that, continuous. It needs to be continuity. It cannot be like, oh, we're gonna do this entire first half and then do nothing, do jack shit in the second half. Cannot be like that. Has to be
not
continuous.
not to super nerd out, but like with Kellen Moore, what he's gonna bring is definitely a lot of tight end sets, a double tight ends, but as well, you're gonna see Jalen under center a lot more. So having Saquon on the team only helps just because now at first you're running RPOs.
Mhm.
Now, yeah, a lot of teams were zoning in and basically getting on Jalen. But now on a play action, you have to respect the run and you have to respect it even more because who's back there. Now you take into account Jalen can bootleg this ball, but then
Yeah.
shit, I just put everybody into the box and I got Devontae Smith on a deep crosser that
Mhm.
somehow snuck behind my safety, biting on the damn run to Saquon Barkley. Jalen throws it deep for a damn 40-yard touchdown. So, or it could be vice versa. You know, safety's playing back because you see Devontae on the deep crosser and you got a light box and Jalen hands the ball off to, Saquon. Saquon picks up 20-25 on a first down. Like, or you have to play action. Safety's playing deep. The box is playing a run, but then Dallas Goedert's sitting in the middle of the damn field wide open, and you pick it off to him for damn 20 yards. Like,
Yeah.
bro, the possibilities is endless with this roster. And then the fact that some of these guys can literally replace each other. So Saquon and Kenny G can replace each other because they're both good in the passing. They're both decent in the pass blocking game. AJ, Smitty, they're both going to be fine.
Timeout.
Whoa.
I'm sick of the whole Kenny Gainwell pass block thing. I'm sick of it.
He was better than Swift.
So we heard, because every passing play they pulled Swift out and they put Gainwell in, and look how that works for our offense. Defenses was like, oh hey guys, look, they're gonna pass it now because Gainwell's in. I don't believe it. I don't believe the hype about Gainwell being this all amazing, because there's a couple plays. Speaking of the play, it's actually a highlight play for Jalen Hurts. You guys remember that beautiful pass against the Dolphins where Jalen Hurts is getting hit? He's getting when he right as he's getting hit. Guess who the pass blocker was on that play? I'll give you a hint. He didn't wear number 0. It was Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, I thought it was Boston.
He was the pass blocker on that play and blew his whole assignment, and Hurts got cracked in the ribs while throwing a beautiful pass. But that's Kenny Gainwell, for the record. Mr. All Pro pass blocker, but
Mr.
I didn't say All Pro pass blocker.
I know, it was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I joke sometimes.
But as well, bro, this is the opportunity. Are we going to see the resurgence of a John Ritchie equivalent? Like, is the fullback coming back to Philly? Because you can't see that. You can see that with a third tight end. Is that the reason why the Eagles are keeping, Grant Calcaterra?
Hey.
Is that the reason why the Eagles got CJ Uzuma?
Well, didn't we draft one of those guys and they were a wide receiver / running back?
Anaya Smith. The funny thing about Anaya Smith, when he's at Texas A&M, he started off as a running back, but then he moved over to the wide receiver position.
So we had a Debo.
Yeah, because they don't run the ball in the Big 12, and he wanted to, touch the ball.
So I know. Texas A&M is SEC.
I thought you said Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's not Texas Tech. It's Texas A&M.
Well, still, he has that Debo-like experience, so that could also be used somewhat like a fullback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Not as a fullback. I wouldn't use Anias as a
More like a
fullback.
jet sweep.
I would use Anias as more of like that flex back, that H back, that guy that you can go in the tight end set and you would see Anias in that backfield, and he could probably go in motion and probably orbit back on like a wheel route or a quick angle or burst corner, something crazy to that extent. But yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the running backs now. Barkley is 6 foot 233.
Yep.
And then Tyrion Davis Price is 6'1", 219, so he's smaller.
Will Shipley's
weight wise.
5'10".
Will Shipley's 5'11", 209, so he's light.
He's small.
Kendall Milton, the guy we got out of Georgia, the UDFA, he's 6'1", 232.
Okay.
So I could see them using him more like a fullback as opposed to Saquon. I mean, depends what you guys consider as a fullback, like how you consider a team using a fullback.
Like fullback is Ricard. Like juice. Is like Ricard. Yeah. It's like juice. Yeah.
Like bruh, he doesn't really get touches, but
I just need you to go
like just bulldoze.
See that man right there? Clear path.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see them using Barkley like that.
You know who's a good example as a fullback? Think old school like Carell Buckhalter. That's a guy. That's who I'm thinking of.
That's what I'm saying. So like
Carell Buckhalter was a thumper though. He was more of a drop his head down and ran through people. Yeah. Like, bro, that was a good pair. Buckhalter and damn
and
Westbrook.
Yeah. But you know who else you could also use as maybe like as that fullback option? Heck, I think we've been all asking for Jordan Mailata because he has a rugby background. Or yes,
you know who has a rugby background that doesn't have to play O-line? The other kid we just signed from Australia? Yeah.
Oh, that other guy too.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Give me a season to say his name correctly.
Hold on, guys. I'm looking at numbers right now, and we have a tight end, McAllen Castles, 6'4", 250.
UDFA from Tennessee.
He's rocking number 43.
Okay,
that's a fullback. Okay. That's a fullback number, baby.
He's just waiting for them 80s to become available because like
I know
roster.
EJ Jenkins. Hey, I'm just saying, that's a fullback number though. He might be like, hey, they're like, we're gonna keep you, McAllen Castles. I'm trying to find the dude you're talking about though, the guy we signed.
He would be in the O-line. He would be in the O-line.
Lakin Vakalahai.
Okay.
Vakalahi.
Okay.
Is that who you're talking about?
Somebody's been watching a lot of Moana.
I love Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome.
Bro, but you know who else who but you know what? Who else you can also use as a fullback? You know where I'm going with this.
Tyler Steen, because Trevor Keegan took his job at guard.
No, I say keep Trevor Keegan because he's allowed 0 sacks. Death, taxes, and Trevor Keegan allowing 0 sacks. That's the 3 things in life.
We have a lot of options for someone we could use as a trick running back, and we have a lot of options as someone we could use as a returner. I think this team has so much versatility this year too, compared to like years past. Like I feel like we were talking about Fangio's defense being fluid. Like we have more like linebackers playing edge playing linebackers, DBs just playing DB.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like some guys you might be a nickel, might be safety, might be this. But offensively, we have a lot of dudes also doing something similar. Obviously, our 2 main guys are going to be receivers, and then Goddard's going to be a tight end. But like everyone else on the offensive roster is kind of like, we might use it. Will Shipley might line up. You might see him behind Jalen, and then a little signal, he just lines up, and everyone's like, wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley's in the backfield, but Shipley just lined up.
Yeah.
So just to wrap this up while we on this topic, and then we'll let everybody get out of here. Who are your offense is already given because all of them dudes just got signed this damn offseason. But on the defensive side, who are your projected starters?
Ooh. let me take a crack at this one because I think I may have an idea.
Okay.
So just give me a count. Just give me a count on this one. So I'm going to start off with the corners. Of course, Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Ringo, and
No, not the 53.
Oh.
Who's the 11 you're putting on the field right now?
Oh, my 11. Okay, my 11. I'm going to say Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell. I want to see Mitchell go get some early get a little bit of experience up front. Well, put him in the battlefield. I want to see it. Then because it's a Vic Fangio thing, we're gonna go 3-4. My first three, I want to see Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams. And then as my four, I'm on my two outside edges. Technically, you got to go Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat, but in this case, hear me out. I think I may want to try putting in Zach Bond because he has the ability to move back. Zach Bond on one drive, on either a first or a second down, and then on the other side, I go Brandon Graham, and then those are my two out of the four linebackers, and then inside and outside, Devin White and N'Kobe Dean. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will come take some snaps, and then my corners. I already talked about Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell. My two safeties, Mr. CJ GJ, and of course Reed Blankenship.
All right, what about you, Cozy?
Yeah, I think yeah, pretty much said it. So I think up until like we're proven wrong, I think it is still Slay and Bradbury on the outsides. Until Bradbury gets moved, I don't think they're gonna just put him down, even though I think they should. I don't think they're going to. So I think it's Slay and Bradbury on the outsides.
Mm-hmm.
In the back, obviously Chauncey and Reed. So what is that? 4. We got 7 left. Up front, Davis, Milton, Carter, Sweat, Huff,
Mm-hmm.
and then linebackers. If healthy, I think it's N'Kobe Dean's job to lose, but I think Dean and White, and then Trotter coming in. Yeah,
that makes more sense.
That's what I think is like that. I think is going to be like the base defense right there. I think there will be some plays where Bond does come in and they use him more fluidly. And I think those same plays would be a play where it's also Cooper on the field too, or Maddox if he's still playing. But like I think they're gonna put a lot of dudes in and it's gonna be fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see.
Yeah.
So I guess I guess I'm always the difficult one, but I'm gonna go Slay and Bradbury started off at corner. I'm gonna have Huff and Sweat on the edge. I got Carter, Davis, and Williams holding it down as my nose tackles and my 3 eyes. I got Devin White and Zach Bond as my middle linebackers. And then I got CJ, and I think Cooper would be the only rookie to start.
You think Reed gets benched over Coop?
Yeah.
I was like, you were saying, you're like, I'm gonna be the difficult one, and just started naming off everything I said. I was like,
no, because y'all had Bond rotating at edge, but I have him at the middle linebacker spot with Devin White. I think
we also
Slay
have
Bradbury,
that dude from the Niners too.
Oren Burks.
Oren Burks.
Yeah, we have Oren Burks.
But I have Slay and Bradbury starting at corner. And then once, Bradbury proves the Vic Fangio, then that's when you'll get Quinyon to come in and fill there. Because I don't see no true outside of Sidney Brown still recovering from his Achilles or ACL injury.
ACL, something like
Reed
that.
Blankenship, this is his first time getting tested, for a starter spot. It's Reed Blankenship. You got, Andre Sam?
Andre Sam, yeah, UDFA.
UDFA, and then you got Cooper DeJean, and then there's not another safety unless Howie signs one. But outside of Reed Blankenship, I think Cooper may, had a coach was like, shit, I'm trying to give Reed the damn job, but Cooper's giving me millions of reasons to give it to him. And at that point, hey, why not? You can let a rookie start with all that veterans presence in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I would have Dijon line up on the opposite end of Brad. Of course, Dijon will line up on Slay's side because Bradbury and CJ got that relationship. But as well, that should be straight. And then when it's time to, throw in Quinion, let him stay on CJ side. So that way CJ can mentor him on the field. Like how they had Kelsey mentor Landry Dickerson and Cam Jurgens right there in the guard positions. You're giving these guys to coach them up on the field. So after each play, like, hey, this is what this receiver did. Hey, close the field, X, Y, and Z. Like, we'll be straight. And then once, Jeremiah Trotter and Nakobe Dean are, comfortable enough and get into the groove, then those guys roll in because Bond and White are both on 1-year contracts. So they're going to start and they're going to ball out because they're trying to get bread, next coming season.
Yeah.
We got Jeremiah Trotter for a couple years. We got Nakobe Dean for at least 2 more. So Nakobe Dean's technically need to fight for his bread too, because next year is going to be a make it or break it contract.
Side note, the clips I've seen of Jalix Hunt, I love his personality. He reminds me of a young BG. Like, he just seems so personable. Like, he just seems so outgoing, and I just love that we have another dude like that on the squad. So like I said, I think he could be the young BG, like just coming out there with good energy, always trying to make a play, always making a play. And I can't. I'm so happy for the future of this team, bro.
Yeah. Same here.
But I'm so happy.
But as we get ready to wrap this thing up, bro, anybody got any last minute things?
I mean, I'm excited not only for OT. I mean, yeah, I'm happy that OTAs are ready, but the preseason, see how those rookies do match up, and of course the 53 cuts. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's just day one. You're just in day one.
God. Philly's up 10-3 right now, bro.
You said who?
Phillies, they're up 10-3. They were just up 8-3, and then a minute ago they were 6-3. Now what the fuck's going on?
It's still long season.
Speaking of Phillies, I still got more hats for sale. Anyone interested?
But Cozy, you got anything?
No, just plugging my hats and just waiting for more clips to come out, more interviews to come out, because like I said, so far what I've seen from this team, I like it off the field, and I already am a fan of the talent on the field, so I'm just excited for more. That's it. Just excited.
Well, yeah. Last note, everybody be safe this weekend. As y'all know, it's Memorial Weekend. Definitely remember what it's about. It's not about shooting off fireworks. It's about remembering those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. With that being said, as well, y'all take the time, definitely, and cherish it with your loved ones. As y'all know, us on the Air Force side, we definitely lost a member out there in Florida, Airman Roger Fortson. Unfortunate accident. So, hey, just take the time. If you do got any family members, definitely, give them that time, because you never know when anything's going to happen. But on that note, man, appreciate everybody for watching in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, and then appreciate everybody that hopped in the chat. Mark Bird, he's been a day one. Rich Gonzalez, of course, the man with the 4K camera, Pete Nathan, and I should have had Pete plug his show as well, and then of course Todd. So on that note, folks, we're gonna end this out, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
Go Birds.
Go Bears.